It's one of our first Jhin players in Korea way back when in 2016 spring. We started to see the Jhin, that utility AD carry who got buffed on this patch, and then a couple of buffs over a couple of patches made him very relevant. If you can keep the amount of tanks down on the enemy team, we saw that in full effect yesterday. Very, very quick bans, and look at this, Kongdu Monster will blue side ban away the Zac. We will get to see SKT on a different jungler, which will be fun to see. And Raze has had some good performances on the Olaf, so will we just see Blank jump on the Sejuani? That is the tier list pick into the Olaf, but has been a struggling pick for Blank in particular.
Certainly a big question, but we'll probably get to other picks first. The Xayah Rakan, definitely something that stands out. That could be picked up here for Bang and effort. The Xayah gets locked in. Will her lover also be locked in here is the question. Not yet seems to be the answer, hovering that Taliyah.
A lot of teams on the red side would first round Xayah Rakan, but remember that SKT are actually a team that values Xayah over Rakan. They will take the duo if it's up, but they want to take away the Taliyah, and they've actually run Xayah Janna to success very recently. So they are one of those teams where Xayah is higher prized than the Rakan. They're happy to go with the Xayah, and if Rakan is taken away for some sort of patchwork comp on the side of Kongdu Monster, they'll go for something else.
Yeah. Kongdu Monster seemingly just going down the list, the tier list that is, picks up the Olaf first when it's available. They lock in the GP and the Sion. So everything that people are saying are strong, Kongdu Monster is picking them.
It is also saying that it'll be a Sion top lane because it's not going to be a flex pick with the Gangplank you imagine. Short of a Galio in the mid lane is Faker, just having a bit of fun, showing a Shaco. I don't think we're going to see Blank Shaco today, but that would be very exciting.
Yeah.
Old Faker champion hovered here in the Master Yi. But it seems like it's going to be Tal's pick in the first round. They will be going Vladimir into the GP, trying to bust down the GP. We saw this very recently. Tal was able to win in this exact matchup a couple of days ago against MVP, even though it was a resolve tree Gangplank, which has been the new norm with the Kleptomancy changes and also the support change.
Yeah, he's back. Seems like somebody's family has come down to the studio. It's Edge's family, actually, just getting the word here. Looks like perhaps grandma and the dad and a sister from the looks of it. But we also got Ezreal and Alistar. Secret, we mentioned his Alistar before. He does have a winning record, 4-2, and he gets to play it tonight.
Ezreal Alistar have great synergy also, because when Alistar roams, the Ezreal will be there to do his job, can farm from range, is very, very safe. Some damage concerns for Kongdu Monster if the Gangplank falls far behind. Ezreal's all about timings, and sadly, Kongdu Monster hitting those 2-item power spikes has been something they haven't been able to do reliably, whereas SKT have a lot more damage on their side. Big question to me is, it's Blank on a different champion, but it's also Blank against Kongdu Monster. So will he play himself into form on the Jarvan, or will the same inconsistency problems that have plagued him rear their ugly head against Kongdu Monster?
I certainly think that 4 games in a row can build your confidence and say, hey, I remember how to play the game. I'm no longer 6'12", I know what I'm doing in the jungle. And I think he's got to prove that tonight, right? If he comes in here, he plays Jarvan, and he gets wrecked by Raze in the jungle when he's not playing Zac, that raises gigantic questions for the current form of the SKT jungler.
Imagine SKT are going to play very proactively. Vladimir should have lane control on GP at 1 item. The Taliyah and the Sion both have the ability to roam, so that'll be a fun lanes track. And I imagine Raze and Blank will make some visits there. You know, all about Ezreal Alistar. Very safe lane until they turn on. Kongdu Monster want to play spoiler. They have nothing else on the line. They will be our 10th place team. SKT with a victory can jump as high as 4th and get side selection in the first match of the playoffs next Saturday. It's all about SKT for most of the fans. They've got a very comfortable comp here. Not necessarily in the first 5 levels, but as the matchup goes on, Tal will be happy. He may be sad now, though, as Olaf is here.
Yeah, still getting that red buff and the slow from the barrel. Tal in a lot of trouble here. Will be forced to flash away, but the flash on from Raze. They're going to get the first blood over to Raze on the Olaf. Very nice gank in the top lane.
Actually, a big mistake from Tal. An old counter pick to top lane Vladimir was top lane Olaf because the pool has no value. 1 axe hits, the second the Z. Specifically, Blank an effort to itemize. Kongdu Monster needs to keep it up, and this will be another good start.
Oh boy, Effort in a bit of trouble. He has to get over the wall here, but already he's low with the Ignite ticking.
Oh!
They're not going to follow. Oh, the last tick gets him. Not sure if the Cannon Barrage helped right before the last tick, but either way, he goes down.
It goes down. The Ignite was so late and ended up picking it up. They can't steal away the blue. The Kongdu Monster, just like Jin Air yesterday, with nothing on the line, are being very aggressive, trying to break some hearts today. Still very early in the game. Still, you love SKT scaling as the game goes on. The Kongdu Monster are fighting when they're strong in the early game, and they're doing it well.
Looking pretty good so far, that's for sure. Already 1,000 gold ahead, but let's see. Effort just trying to ward in the river, not respecting the Alistar engage, and Raze is right there.
It's what happens when you leave open Olaf, and we're not seeing any big picks into the ult.
To care about that. The wall comes in though, but Edge gets on the right side of it. Not going to do much here. Can they disengage? They're actually going to go for the engage. Going on to Effort in the back line. Effort getting extremely low. Faker as well, but everybody dodging the Ezreal ultimate. Looking to turn it around now. The Cataclysm coming in, and Kongdu Monster going a little bit too far. The kill will go over to Bang on the Xayah after all that.
And a question Kongdu should have asked themselves, what are they fighting for? They already picked up the Drake. I understand they have a Trinity Force Ezreal. They did have no vision of the enemy blue buff. They did not know when Xayah would be grouping. Xayah showing up changed their fortunes, and the kill goes the way of SKT, and now Sol has used his Arcane Shift.
Having a bit of fun. You mentioned the Trinity Force, trying to get their hands dirty once again, but certainly the Mountain Drake will help out when you got an Ezreal on your side. We're going to take another look at this here.
They were happy to have Sion go over the wall to say, okay, we could fight, but what are you fighting for? You have the Drake already. You're going into a narrow choke. You don't have the ability to get to the bat. You chunk out multiple members, but eventually, really nice. Use of the seismic shove there. Edge is caught, flashes down. Unnecessary mistake from the side.
Beside one of the minions. A nice little stun coming out from Bang. Heal forced to be used. Bang trying to carry this so hard. They're going in deep, but there's the Blade Caller, and here's Baker from the mid side. Sol is going to be going down. Raze with no escape as well. And this gets turned on its head after all that. Going to give the double kill over to Bang, who's currently 3-0 and sitting pretty in this game.
They leave the kills over to the Xayah. Nice to have that ability. Suddenly 3-0-0 is Bang. Cannon Barrage positioning was off and had no threat onto the members of SKT. The roam down was predictable, but well engineered. Now Bang has the kills. The bot lane turret should be the first to fall. And SKT take control of game number 1.
Just a couple of fights that were invested in by Kongdu Monster. SKT kind of laugh at them and say, okay, we'll be willing to fight you, and it's going to mean the first blood turret in the bottom side, some more extra gold over to Bang, and, well, he seems to be the carry of this game so far.
So you watch the replay, and you can understand what is being tried here, but you use all of your CC onto Effort, and Secret doesn't have ultimate, or at least doesn't use it at the start of the fight. By the time he uses the ultimate, it's irrelevant. The Cannon Barrage isn't in a great spot because SKT stay right next to the wall. Baker gets there first. There's no ability for Sion to react because Unstoppable Onslaught can't get him there fast enough. Ends up being too easy for SKT. They even get, and they're not coming. They see Alistar, they don't see Olaf, and SKT will rush down the Drake after all.
Yeah, easy peasy. You mentioned the lack of vision. We'll see if Kongdu Monster make a desperate attempt to engage here.
They
Trying
do.
to get out to Bang. He doesn't have his flash here, but the axe is going to land. But here's Baker from behind with a huge barrel from Roach. Isn't enough damage. Bang's still in a good place, and the Cataclysm is perfect from Blank to trap them all in. The re-engage here and the flash away from Effort is going to keep them safe. They are flashing into their deaths here, trying to kill Faker with all their might, but they seemingly cannot on the end of it all, and SKT is going to wipe the floor clean with Kongdu Monster. Something we've definitely seen before as Kongdu go a little bit too far.
An air of desperation from Kongdu. I understand they have earlier power spikes, but unnecessary from them. Not everyone will die, but Tal wasn't even there to start, and maybe I gave Roach the kiss of life too early. He's going to try to recall, but I think he's done.
Seems like he is trying to get out here from an execution, but Faker will pick up the kill at the end of it all. So an unofficial ace going to the side of SKT.
Fiesta starts early in this game. Let's watch the replay. And the Drake was already claimed, and as we've asked Kongdu before, what are we fighting for? The answer is flashes down on Bang. Let's go for this. Notice that it is a true 4v5 as Vladimir is slowly walking the entire time with Ignite. Meanwhile, great Cataclysm. They do so much damage to the member of Kongdu Monster. They know Vlad's coming, and so they try to get Faker. They go for the play where they can say, well, I killed the best player of all time, Worth. They dive in, even through stopwatches, unable to kill Faker from this. One by one they fall, and Roach, he goes on a bit of a yakety sax moment. He dies as well, and SKT hero kill hero in their approach to games. Remember, we've had games from Kongdu. Hold the point for now as Seoul finds Blank again.
Yeah, Blank coming in with confidence this time is going to trap the Olaf. You can't run through the wall of the Cataclysm. Doesn't matter if you can't be interrupted, as they will pick up another kill.
We've seen games where Kongdu have sent 5 members to kill to answer the bannered up minion.
You know, it's got that extra range, so we'll eventually push it down. Will they go for the dive? Q's gonna land onto Roach. There's the flag and drag. Secret trying to make an engage on the right side, but here comes Tall down the middle as Raze is awkwardly behind everybody. Tall in a little bit of trouble here, gonna be chunked down, but the Q, and he does go down eventually, but Secret getting low. Blank gonna pick up a kill in the end of it all. Soul with no help on the right side, trying to chunk down effort, but SKT doesn't seem to care as they continue pushing down the mid lane.
Yeah, Bang's actually stopping him from getting in towards the Nexus turrets, which SKT are taking down. One down, Effort will teleport back in with his Unsealed Spellbook if he wants to.
Bang's got red buff. He's not letting anyone go home at this point. Not from the side of Kongdu or SKT. He says, guys, we're gonna end the game right now. As they certainly can. They're gonna take down this last Nexus turret. And Bang just going 1v2 against Raze and Soul, and nobody can touch him. That's going to be game number 1, going over to SKT in 27 minutes.
Job halfway done for SK Telecom T1. Early game, Raze was able to make some good plays, but the moment it turned for SKT, a couple of minutes later it turned in the greatest possible way with a 4v5 ace coming through from the side of SKT. Wasn't necessarily everything their fans would have looked for. Blank in the very early